Good afternoon and welcome to Fur, Fins, and Feathers. This is our 29th segment, and today we are delighted to have Erin Babbitt of Stony Creek Farms in Swansea, who has brought some of her pets with us. Some of her delightful pets. She was on with chickens last time and some beautiful rabbits, and now we've got a beautiful Vietnamese pot-bellied pig.
Yep.
Erin, tell us about your pig.
This is Radley. He's an 8-month-old Vietnamese pot-bellied pig. He lives at Stony Creek Farm, and he's part of the petting zoo, and he goes around to different petting zoos and events. He's very social, loves kids. He lives in the house. He's a house pig, so he comes in every night, and he has his own bedroom.
The life of Riley.
Yes. We have a couple other pigs at the farm too. So there's 2 other pot-bellied pigs, but they live outside. They were rescue pigs. Radley we did purchase.
Why is he so special?
Well, we got him at a young enough age so that we could house train him and keep him in the house and harness train him. I wanted a pig that I could lead around, bring to events, throw in the truck. He's very portable. He loves to travel.
He's a handsome little guy.
He is, and he's good-natured, so he's really good with kids, which is kind of rare with pigs. If you don't raise them and train them, they can be kind of nasty. But he's so
Now you have
good-natured.
another pig on the premises.
Yes.
Atticus.
Atticus.
And tell us about Atticus. Atticus is for people who live in Swansea. People will be have a lot of knowledge of Atticus.
People know Atticus. They know when Atticus has disappeared off the farm. He travels. He travels about 8 miles when he goes for his walks. And he likes to disappear down to Wisset and visit all of his friends.
But tell us about Boo. Why is he so special?
Well, he like I said, he loves people. He loves the attention. When little kids come around him, he flops over on his belly and he lets you pet him. So he's very social. He was socialized at a young age, so he's able to be around people.
But he's very important member of the film industry.
He is. He's on his way to be pretty famous. He gets hired for some movie roles. If they're looking for a pig, a background pig, a pet pig, whatever, they'll hire us to bring him to the set. So probably about 4 months ago, he was on the set of Castle Rock, which is a Hulu series, Stephen King series. And he was on set for a couple of days as a background pig, and the director loved him. He did a good job.
Where did you have to take him?
We actually filmed in Salem, Massachusetts. So we were up there for 3 days.
So he's a traveling pig.
He's a traveling pig. He loves to ride shotgun in the truck. Huh.
And he's very well behaved.
He is very well behaved. He's completely house trained. He goes out like the dog. He goes out in the morning. He goes out at night. Doesn't make a mess in the house. He's got his own bed. He puts himself to bed at night, wraps himself in his blankets, and he'll put himself to bed around 7 o'clock at night.
What is the longevity of a Vietnamese pot-bellied
They
pig?
live about 20, 25 years.
Well, so he's long living.
He's long lived, and he'll keep growing till he's 3, so he'll probably get about 100 pounds. So he's going to get much bigger than this.
He is much different than Atticus.
Yeah, Atticus, Atticus is an intact male, so he wasn't neutered when he was a baby. So that's why Atticus likes to travel and disappears.
And is often seen throughout Tawisset.
Yeah. Causing trouble. But Boo, we had
Well
him.
known to the police department.
Very well known. They know him by name now. But he was, Boo Radley was neutered at a young age, so that makes a big difference in their behavior and how they act and interact with people.
I've seen him go right up to people at the farm.
Yep.
And he loves to socialize.
Oh, he's a big hit for the farmers market. So we keep him out during the farmers market, which we run on Sundays. And he's got a pretty big following already. So little kids come just to see him, and they'll give him some produce and fresh produce and feed him, and he enjoys that.
What about his care? Talk about his care.
They're pretty easy to care for. Basically, it's their diet with them. You have to make sure that you don't overfeed them. A lot of people think pigs that they can eat anything, donuts and breads and stuff, but they can't. You want them to stay healthy and at a healthy weight, because if you feed them, they'll just keep growing and growing and growing. So he's on a strict diet of these hay stretcher pellets.
Does he go to a veterinarian?
He does. He goes once a year, and he'll get a rabies shot, a tetanus shot, just like a dog would. So, you do have to vaccinate them, especially, because they do have the potential to bite. You just want to be on the safe side with that. But for the most part, he's pretty good. He's pretty chilled.
Does he do any tricks?
We're working on it. We're working on up. Hey, come on. Up.
Don't fall off the stage.
His biggest trick is he can go up and down stairs. That's what he does. But we're working on it.
Very nice pig, and he's very well behaved. Now, tell us about your other dog. Your dog, your Jack Russell.
Yep, this is Piper.
Now, Piper has not been in the movies yet.
No, she's been on the sets as just hanging out on the set, hanging out with the actors, but she has not had a role yet. But she's still a puppy. She's 1.5 years old, so she's still in training.
She's a beautiful dog.
And she's kind of, she didn't grow much, so she's tiny. But her and Boo Radley are buddies. They hang out together, they sleep together, they do everything together.
She's got lovely, very, very lovely markings.
But she'll travel with me to all the farmers markets, and she goes all over the place, too.
So tell us about some of the events at the farm.
So we do the
They will get to see these these wonderful pets.
Yep. Every Sunday we do the Swansea Farmers Market from 10 to 2. We have fall is our favorite time around the farm because we have a lot of fall events coming up. So we do the Pumpkin Fest for little kids, where we'll have pumpkins set up where kids can come and purchase them and paint them. We do an Oktoberfest where we have 3 different breweries come down and some food being served. That's a good time. That's October 6th. And we extended that an hour longer, so it's 10 to 3. And then we also have a food truck event coming up, which we're pretty excited about. We haven't done one before. And that's going to be October 20th. So we'll have different food trucks at the farm from 10 to 2. And it's a neat family event. So you can bring the kids. We have the pony rides that we do during the market. The petting zoo is always open during the market, and it's a good time.
If people want to come out to the farm, it's open during the day, too.
It is. We are open to the public every day from 8 to 6. So you can bring the kids down, pack a lunch. We have a picnic area that's tented that you can utilize.
Does Boo get any snacks?
He gets a few snacks. We have a couple of families that save their scraps for us, and they come down and they give us their scraps. So as long as it's, fresh and produce and fruit and stuff, we'll give it to them. You've had a lot.
How did you get into the animal-related business?
I've been doing it my whole life.
No, with Anna, with
shows. I met up with a lady a few years ago, and she asked if I would be interested in using my animals for movies, and I said, yeah, why not? So it's kind of turned into this thing where she'll call me 6-7 times a year if they're filming around here and they need livestock. It's mostly livestock, so like the chickens, the rabbits, the sheep. And then if they need us, we go. So if they say we need you for 3 days with 6 sheep, that's what we do.
Fascinating.
It is. It is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It's long days. I mean, it's hard work. It's real hard work.
It must pay a little well.
It does. I mean,
it helps pay the farm bills.
It helps pay the bills. It's nice to get an actual paycheck, but it is hard work. I give those film people a lot of credit. They work a lot of hours. And you don't realize it till you're behind the camera.
In the heat.
Oh yeah, and they go 24/7, whether it's heat, rain, doesn't matter. If they need to get a scene done, they do it. And he'll tell you, huh?
What has he performed in? What kind of scenes has he
So his
played in?
scene was, they were filming at like an 18th century old village, and there were slaves, and so he was like a background pig. So if there was little kids, they had a harness on them, and that was their pet pig. And then we also had the chickens and some goats in the same scene. So the chickens were just, it was like a farm village. So they needed the chickens to run around the village, and they needed the goats to be in the scene also. So we had 6 goats on that set.
Did you bring them?
Yes.
My God, are you?
Yeah, we had a
really
full trailer
packed,
that day.
Filled up, full trailer.
Yep.
So you have goats.
Oh yes, my goats.
And you have sheep.
Mm-hmm. We actually just acquired 2 sheep about a month ago, and they have an acting job in a couple of weeks out in Boston.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So this is turning into
Turning into
something.
a little something.
This is wonderful. You're going to be Swansea's famous celebrities.
We hope so. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. You end up meeting a lot of people. A lot of people on those sets you don't realize are from around here. Like we met a lot of people that are from Rehoboth and Fall River and Westport.
Really?
Yep.
And what do they do?
They're a lot of those people are set people. They work on the set with the cameras, or they're painters, or they're building the sets. They're landscaping the sets. So.
And they're local.
Yeah, a lot of locals.
Very interesting people.
Well, you just keep eating and eating, buddy.
He's a very, very nice pig.
He is till he gets mad.
Tell us about Atticus.
So Atticus, he's about 9 years old now. He's getting up there in age. And he was rescued out of an apartment in Providence. People had him and couldn't keep him. A lot of people, they think they make really good pets in the house. And if you don't train them and work with them, they can get really destructive.
Really?
Yes, and they get really destructive really fast. Like they'll lift up your floor, they'll knock over furniture. So if you don't entertain them and let them spend time outside and do their natural pig thing outside, when they come inside, they're gonna wreck your house.
So they're really not a good family pet.
If you're willing to put the time into them, they are. If you're gonna treat them like a cat and just stick them in a kennel and not pay attention to them, no, they make horrible pets. They really do.
I recently saw in a news clip on TV where a gentleman had his pig and brought it onto a commercial airliner and said it was a service pig.
Right, an emotional pig,
An
support
emotional
pig.
pig, a service pig.
Which, like I said, you put the time into them, they can be trained to do just about anything. They're very smart, and they will, they'll outsmart you, but you just gotta put the time in. And you gotta realize that if you buy one that's a baby that's this big, it's gonna grow to about this big.
How much would a baby pig cost? About
$100, $200. A lot of people.
Do you raise them?
No, I don't raise pigs. I don't sell pigs. I think there's enough of them out there that could be rescued right now that need proper homes.
Are there a lot of people who, once they acquire a pig,
Yep. They realize
toss
how much,
up their hands and place them in homes?
They do, because like I said, they keep growing and they don't realize it. If they, they'll advertise them as a micro pig or a mini pig or a teacup pig. There's no such thing. They just look really small because they're babies, but they will keep growing.
I can imagine what the airline stewardesses thought when this pig was getting on the plane.
But Radley would go on a plane, huh?
So he requires a lot of. So you worked with him for 3 days.
Oh yeah.
You just didn't leave. You had to.
Oh no, we
stay
stay
with
on.
him.
We stay on set. I'm considered an animal handler or
Okay.
an animal wrangler. So you have to stay on set with them because if they're working on a certain scene, that scene could take all day. So they could retake that scene 25 times in a day, and the animals
Does he
have
get
to be.
frustrated?
He does get very frustrated.
So how do you calm him down?
When he gets to a point where he no longer wants to work, he'll start screaming, and it's ear piercing. And he, how am I supposed to bring it? He'll start screaming, so you just take him off set. You take him off set, you bring him to a place that's quiet, you feed him, you let him relax, and then when he's ready to go back on set, and the director will stop the scene and they'll wait until he's calm.
So he's just like a temperamental
Right.
TV star.
Right. And you can't force them because they have animal welfare people on the set.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And if you're not caring for that animal and you're not paying attention to that animal, if they think you're neglecting them or harming them in any way, they won't let you do the scene. So they stop it.
Do you bring a second pig on?
Well, I don't have two pigs, so I just
Okay.
have one pig. But
And
for
Atticus is much too big to
right, well,
take.
he's pink. He's a different color. But
That's all right. Kissing my feet.
But like with rabbits, we've been on set with rabbits, and I've had multiple, like 3 black rabbits. That rabbit that was here.
Yeah, you
so
could
we'll have 3 of those.
substitute
We
them.
could substitute. Yep, yep. They all look the same. That rabbit had to work with a little kid, so it had to be able to, be calm on the little kid's lap and not go crazy and scratch and bite the little kid. So there's a lot to it.
Do they bite?
Rabbits? Or
No,
pigs?
the
Pigs,
pigs.
They can. You're not supposed to hand feed them. You're always supposed to put the treat on the ground because if you start hand feeding, then they can start nipping. And I haven't, aside from today, he's never really been hand fed. So that's why he's not a nipper. But they do have really sharp teeth that you have to watch out for. I always tell little kids if you're going to pet him, watch out for his, for his teeth.
Now you have the farmer's market on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And does he get to see people?
Oh yeah, he has a pen set up right out front. So he's right in the middle of the action.
He's a very, very... What colors do they come in? Very nice pig.
Yeah, they come in all different. Black, half pink.
He's considered a black.
Yep, they can be Juliana, which is they're spotted pigs. That's a coloring, so they'll be like brown and black and all different colors.
What are some other animals that you bring on the sets?
The chickens. We have a lot of chickens that have been on the sets.
I met a couple of them.
Yep, I have 6 chickens that have been on 3 different movies. And like I said, the sheep that we just acquired, they'll be working, and then the goats. So we have 1 goat that has been on a few different sets, and she's kind of famous now. She's worked with a few different actors.
How do the actors relate to these animals?
It's pretty funny. We worked with Chuck Zito and Chaz Palminteri, and they're city guys. They don't like farm animals, so they were kind of squeamish to handle the goat. It was kind of funny.
And how about your little Piper here? She's not been on a set yet.
Not yet.
She's just come to visit.
Yep. She would, they let you bring your dogs. If they know that you're going to be on set for 3 or 4 days, they tell you to bring your dog and, hang out on the set so you're not leaving the dog behind.
But I bet some actors are very fun to work with.
Oh, they are. They're a lot of fun. Adam Sandler is a fun guy to work for. I've worked with him on his set, and his whole crew. His family members are pretty cool. I've met his wife and his cousins, and he employs his whole family on set. And he's a nice guy.
So,
Oop.
he's taking off.
There you go.
So do you work throughout the year?
Yep. It kind of slows down. Production will slow down in the wintertime. They do most of their movie sets spring, summer, and fall. But there's a lot of production that goes on in Massachusetts. There's a ton of it that goes on up in Boston and that way, up in the nicer areas. So
There's also a growing film industry in Rhode Island.
There is. Yep. There's actually I worked on a Rhode Island film with Steve Feinberg
Yeah.
and Tom DiNucci. He's a producer. They produced the movie Vault.
Yes.
Yep, we were on that set.
Wonderful.
We were on the set with the goat in the prisons, the ACI. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of filming. It's a big industry. It's a big business. I don't think people realize it.
How can people get involved in it?
I don't know how you get involved in it. I think you probably just put yourself out on. I'm sure they have like call sheets and
I'm sure there are
looking
calls
for this and oh yeah,
in the Boston area.
right. And there's certain websites that you can go on. I'm not sure what they're called, but if they're looking for
Call for actors.
or background people or extras, they make it public so anybody can get on there and be an extra.
Very good. Even local theater productions.
Yeah. Yep.
They're always looking for actor to bring animals
Right.
at Case High School here. Right in this building.
Are they? Yeah, we had a goat one time that was in a theater, a play in the Second Story Theater in Warren.
Yes, which is closed now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they do some great things, or did some great
Right.
things, yeah. Where did you get her? She is beautiful.
She came from a breeder out in Middleborough. I've always had Jacks for a long time, and I've had about 8 of them, all from the same bloodlines. And
She's nice.
they all seem to be good-natured.
Perfect ear set.
Good girl, I know.
So she'll be on TV someday.
She will be on TV someday, absolutely.
That's good. And our little Potbelly, are you going to continue to get more animals, acquire more animals?
If needed. I have over 100 animals right now, so I'm trying to not go crazy. We rescue a lot of animals, so we have
Is that a
15
big problem?
It is. There's a lot of animals in need. There's a lot of farm animals. There's a lot of chickens and roosters right now that people are trying to place.
Do people ever show up at the farm and want to drop off animals?
I've had people with ducks in their car, with rabbits in their car. One time someone came by with a goat and a chicken, and I took both of them. I felt bad. But it's
But
tough.
it can be very costly.
It's very costly. It's not, they just drop the animal off. They don't drop it off with a trust fund. And the goats live for a long time. They live about 15 years. So, now you have to feed this animal for the next 15 years of its life, which gets pretty expensive.
And sheep and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think when people buy things, purchase animals, I don't think they think.
No, they don't think it through. And it's the same thing with like the rabbits. The rabbits are cute while it's Easter time, and they're little baby bunnies, and they want to get them for the kids. But when they grow up, they don't want them anymore. So they want to give them up, and it's a shame because they make really good pets. If you put the time into them, they just want attention. The poor little things. So we have about 15 rabbits at the farm that people didn't want anymore.
Really?
Yep, and now we have to feed them every day, twice a day.
And goats?
And goats, yep.
And you also have at the farm, you have beautiful horses.
We do. We have 33 horses right now. And most of them are owned and privately owned, but we board horses. But I have 8 horses, and I have some that were surrendered that people couldn't keep or couldn't afford anymore. And that's a 40-year commitment.
Now, when you go away on vacation, who takes care of all these animals?
I have a lot of volunteers, a lot of little kids that will offer to help. And it's they get a Bible of how to take care of all the animals and who gets what. So it's not easy. It's not easy to go away. We do it once a year. That's about it.
A little breather to get away.
In the middle of winter. But it's overall, it's fun. I can't complain. I love it. I love the animals. I love being surrounded by them every day.
How did you really start? I've asked you, I think once before, but how did you start with You grew up in Bristol, didn't you?
Grew up in Bristol.
And how did you
I did 4-H
discover
club.
animals?
Oh, 4-H club when I was a little kid. My grandfather used to bring me to feed the cows, and that was it. I always had a thing for cows after that, and started riding lessons when I was 5. Got my first horse when I was 6.
I am so looking forward to going to Portugal next week because the cows in Portugal are beautiful.
Right, and they just
and
roam.
I've met them.
Right.
I've met so many of them over the years.
Yeah, it's just I have a passion for it. I mean, it's just I'd much rather work around animals than people.
You have so many beautiful cows at the farm.
We have a lot of cows. I mean, some we do process, which helps to pay the bills for the farm. But we do have about 10 cows that are pet cows, and they won't go anywhere, and they'll be around forever. And cows live a long time. If you just let them go, they live to their 22.
And how long will this gentleman stay around for?
About 20 years.
Wow. You are a handsome. How do you groom him and keep him going?
He goes in the bathtub.
Does he? Mm-hmm. How often does he get bathed?
About every 2 weeks he'll get a bath, and then we just wipe him down with baby wipes and brush him. And he's on a supplement for his coat to keep it somewhat shiny.
And he's well behaved.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, comes in at night. He's got his bed. He loves his blankets, and he's got a couple of toys that he likes to make music with. He presses buttons on certain toys, and
he is a delightful little character. And he's much smaller than Atticus.
Yeah, Atticus is
How much does
pretty big.
Atticus weigh?
Atticus weighs about 150 pounds. Then we have another pig, Arnold, and he's probably about 200 pounds.
And they require a lot of work. Now, does Arnold take off too?
No, Arnold sticks around because he's so big. I don't think he moves like Atticus does. And he's a little older, so he's got some arthritis, so he doesn't move as quick. But
well, this has been wonderful. It's been great to see you again, and we'll look forward to having you back again on Fur, Fins, and Feathers. Thank you very much for joining us today.
thanks for having us.